welcome to Art Day. Happy Monday. I'm working in my sketchbook again today because I'm actually a little bit under time pressure today. Sorry about that. I'm still not gonna rush through my video, but I had actually thought I would maybe use more than just pencils today on this particular video. But since things are moving forward in private life, I have to make some adjustments with my time schedule today and have be a little more available. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna draw and pencil my subject here today, and then I will spare myself the cleanup work. The prompt that I'm working from today is a personified stuffed animal or toy. So if you guys know me for a while or have been seeing Daniel and I on Gamer's Couch, especially around Christmas time, there's this one stuffed animal that we do have. It's Psyduck, it's a Pokemon. And well, it gets dressed up, it has a personality, and I'm definitely painting him every year. And well, of course I have to go with Psyduck. Question is, what will he do in my little drawing today? Or if I actually will let him make something. So in the watercolor paintings that I had in Daniel's advent calendar in the last couple of years, he was doing things like he was dressed up as a pumpkin because he was trick-or-treating, he was playing Sherlock Holmes, he was a mythical animal being put together with a turtle shell and a Scorpio tail, for example. He was a pilot, sitting in a plane and such. So he did things. And I wonder, should I let him do things or should I just simply draw him? And I don't think I do have just a simply drawing of him, so let's go for it, right? Let's just have a simple Psyduck drawing. It's fairly simple, like I said so many times now. Simple is a wonderful word. So I'm going to start with my, excuse me, yellow graphite pencil here. And I'm gonna outline Mr. Psyduck. He is a really nice figure. I like to start with a beak, by the way. Or is it even a beak with a platypus? He's actually not a duck, though he's called Psyduck. In English, he's actually a platypus. So let's have a beak, whatever you want to call it, with the Psyduck, the platypus I mean. And then there, of course, he has eyes because he is very cute. He has big round eyes. So what I find very nice and relaxing with these prompts here, especially since I'm focusing on drawing this year, is, well, that you're really just building your muscle, and that can be done in a reasonable amount of time. So even if you have a super filled schedule in your life, and you can't spare the 2 hours or 3 hours a day to draw, you can just go with 10 minutes. And that's totally fine, and you're still moving forward. You're still learning and you're still getting someplace, you know. You can pick up the next day where you left off on another day, you know. So, and then he has quite the body. Don't worry, this is already including arms. He's not a snowman. But he is a little more on the rounder part of the spectrum. He's not very lean, but he's very cute. He's a very cute little doggy or platypus. Then we go here to the bottom. Not gonna draw in his tail because that's at the back side and not visible from this angle. And then he gets some feet. There we go. This is Psyduck in the making. I'm not gonna draw in the hair for now because I want to do that with a black pencil later. But time for coloring. He actually has a yellow, a warm yellow tone. So I'm going to take that. Also gonna take, excuse me, the black pencil here, the white luminance pencil, and the beige for his feet and his beak. I need a bit more of a shading tone, so I'm going to take these two browns to color. And I'm going to start with just a layer of the yellow here. Just give him a base layer while I decide in my head and talking out loud to you as well on where my light source is going to be on this particular drawing. Where do I want my light to be? Let's see. I think I want the light to come from the right this time round, so I can shade on the left. Yeah, I think I like that. So speaking about shading, let's start shading him with the first layer. That would be the yellow ochre here. And there's going to be a shadow behind his beak. Anything here. And there would be a very dark shadow, and that's where I'm bringing in the next darker brown here, exactly on this lower bit. And the rest I can bring in a little bit of white here to bring in a little bit of a highlight here on the right hand side, the upper right hand side, where the light would hit. And then bring in my yellow again, just to bring everything together here. And it's just these tiny little sketches that, well, maybe do something for you in terms of relaxation, because I actually find it quite zen to draw and to color. It's a little bit more on the thinking part when it comes to drawing than coloring, but I still find it very relaxing, and I can definitely just recommend you trying it. And it's just a few pencils or a graphite pencil if you don't want to work with the colors, and you're good to go, you know. You can do a tiny little sketch every day, every week, whatever it is that you like to have as a well, as a time frame there, however many hours you have available for doing something for you in a day. Could be just be 10 minutes, so you could just have maybe this part colored here or drawn here in one day, and the next day you move on to something else. You don't have to finish a drawing every day. I just think that it really helps with developing your skills, improving certain things that you want to work on. And then you could also take it to other media if you're not in the mood for pencils. All right. Sorry. There's the beak. And there would be a highlight here on the right hand side as well. There was the German. Gosh, sorry. That would be here, where it's a little lighter. Let me bring in the, what's it called? The yellow ochre here on the darker side, so on the shadow parts. And then I'm going on top all of it with my beige tone here. Bringing in a little bit of that darker brown here because I need a bit of contrast. On the left hand side. I want to keep the shape of the beak very visible. There we go. Now I can actually go with the eyes. What I want to do here is try something with the white from the Faber-Castells. That would be this pencil here that I have. Usually I take the luminance pencil. Sorry, oopsie. Whee! Excuse me. But I want to see how the white Faber-Castell is working here, and I like what I see so far. I could definitely use that on just the gray toned paper. If there's no other pencil underneath, I don't think that it covers as well on top of something as the luminance does. But well, sorry, this is something. Let's get a highlight here. See the difference? And also here. With going on top, the luminance is just, yeah, it's priceless. It's hardly anything out there. Maybe the Prismacolors, they're very creamy as well and very opaque, so I think the Prismas would do the same job. But other than that, I really like the luminance pencil for putting something on top, or putting white or a highlight on top of other colored pencil tones. But where there's light, there's of course always a shadow. So underneath the eye here, to the left, I'm just having a little bit of a gray to bring things together. And I'm also going to bring in, where is he looking at? He's gonna look straight at you. Just a bit more of the gray. And then a little more of the white. At this point I could actually also bring in his hair, because I'm probably not gonna go in this section of the book otherwise. I'm not planning to have a huge background or something. Just gotta clean up my sharpener. Clean out. And then sharpen my black pencil. Go. So he has 3 little strands of hair, actually 6, but you can only see 3 from this angle. So let's bring him in. There we go. Since again, hey, we have a highlight, I bring in my gray for the highlights here. And I'm going to blend it with the black. Like so. And now I'm going to use the dark gray to bring things together a little more. The light gray is, like the word says, just a little too light. But still, you need to have a highlight on that very shiny hair. I don't know, feathers? It's actually not feathers. He's a furry animal. He's not a duck. Like I said, he's a platypus. And he's a Pokemon. I mean, come on. There's science there. So, here we go. Gotta add a little bit of the yellow ochre here, because the hair, of course, is also casting a tiny little bit of a shadow. But not very much, just a little bit, so. So bring maybe a little more definition here around the eyes. There we go. It's really difficult to not have him look like a cartoon. So meaning usually he has a black outline and then he's filled with color. Because, well, that's how you draw a manga, for example. But in this case here, I don't want to have that. I don't want to have the very heavy black outlines. So it's a little more difficult to still have him looking cutesy and sweet, though he's realistically shaded, and just with a style, he's just drawn in a way that is not very resembling of his original art style. So let's go with the base layer of the yellow. And then again, it's always the same thing. Where does the light come from? Where's the shadow cast? So light comes from the right hand side, I had said. So of course there's going to be a highlight here on the arm. And a little here, just a little. And all the rest is in the shadow. Or is casting shadow. Anything west of the beak is definitely shaded. The beak casts a shadow, and the roundness of his body is casting a shadow as well. So shadows are here underneath the arm, like so. Of course, anything west of the beak, like I had said. So anything here, this all shadow, 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 shadow. Since he is round like that, he's also casting or having a shadow here on the left outer part, but not all the way, because again he's round, so the shadow would be cast only partially there. There we go. And then I can already put in the very darks, which are here underneath this arm. I'm going with a very light touch because I want to layer this color here. That would be the dark. Also here, of course, the head and the beak there really casting a shadow. So this sets the head apart from the body, for example. There we go. I might just have a little bit of a very dark shadow here, but not as much as on the left side, because again, the light is coming from the right and it's bouncing off this part here, so it's only very little dark that's gonna come from that area. But now I can layer another round of the sunny yellow on top, going over the white pencil as well. I don't want the highlights to look white, just lighter. by changing the direction I put down the pigment in. So first I had it like this, now I'm going like this. I'm getting into the grooves of the paper more, which will make this piece look way more saturated. It helps a lot to actually change directions when you color. But I'm always having a light touch, and I'm always coloring in circles or large ovals so that I don't have any weird lines happening in my pictures. So it's just something I learned, helps a lot. I only go in the lines if I really want lines, you know, or want to emphasize a certain thing. But I need the yellow ochre now, because there's also a little bit of shadow here underneath that beak part here. It also sets apart the beak from the body. But it's not a very dark shadow, it's just something of a mid-tone there. So I'm going in with the yellow ochre instead of that brown tone. Intensifying a few things, just to enhance Mr. Psyduck's features here. I need a bit of the darker brown on this section here. Just a bit. Pretty much as an outline or something. But not too much. Again, I don't want to have the ink manga looking outline. Also not with a different color. I could just outline with the brown, but it would be the same concept as the manga outline, and I don't want that. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I want this to look like a fluffy stuffed animal and not like a cartoon that is been drawn. So that is, I guess, the challenge here for me today, to make it look like a stuffed animal and not like a cartoon, and still have enough contrast and such. It's a little, well, putting pigment here, putting pigment there, one line here, one line there, until I have the right amount of contrast. And like I say in so many videos of mine, at least the ones that are art related, I squint or cross my eyes for a split second. It will make my vision blurry enough so that I just see the values of my picture and not the details, and that helps me telling if my contrasts are enough, hyped up enough, if my lights are light enough and my darks are dark enough, or if I need to add a little more. So for example, the contrast is not high enough here. There we go. Now, sorry about that. Let's have a sip of tea. There we go. Onto the feet, they are the same beige color as the beak is, so I'm going to base coat them. Now the thing is, there's a lot of dark, a lot more dark than there is light, because pretty much anything but here, this outline, anything but that is in the shadow, because Psyduck's body is pretty much casting the shadow on its own. So I'm going to bring in my my shadow color, the trusty yellow ochre. You see I'm not going all the way to the front on the middle and right part of the foot, just on the left part. Again, this just helps with clearly stating where the light comes from in this picture. So let me adjust that. I'm going to take the darkest color too. For a bit of contrast again. It's a very important word. I don't need to have the contrast drawn in on this side here because the white is the contrast there. Don't need to have the dark brown. But now I can bring in my beige again. Now you could say, well, Sarah, talking about high contrast, the tip of the toes there, the gray paper and the beige, this is not high contrast, correct? And that is where my ground comes in, the whatever material or thing Psyduck is standing on. Hold on. There we go. And that will be the contrast then. What do I want him to stand on? I like a stone because I have the gray already in the picture. And I think a dark bluish gray would be a very nice contrast to the yellows. Oh, my audio equipment died, so sorry for audio. I'm recording with this camera audio now. So sorry about that. Gotta change the batteries. Didn't really look correctly then, or didn't pay attention. So I know I started recording on the other equipment. It's probably that I forgot to see how much battery was left. Oops. Anyway, let's bring in the light gray here for the lighter side. And then move on to the very darks here. So I'm taking the gray. Pretty much as a base color there. And then I'm gonna bring in a dark blue. And if you happen to watch my Beyond the Lines show, sorry, I'm currently working in the Outlander book, and there I'm using the blue, the dark blue with the gray quite a bit as the shading colors. So if you want to see in like whole big sceneries that a dark blue that is a wonderful shading color for any kind of natural objects, so anything stone, plant, wood, so yeah, all of that. Dark blue is a wonderful shading color to layer, like I do here, for example. Then I can layer the black on top, and it doesn't look flat. I do explain in detail, and I show you in very many parts of that Jamie and Claire page. where I use the blue and how I shade exactly with these pencils. That is the subject of the current page, that you don't need to have the $500 pencils if you can't afford them. There's still ways that with colored pencils only you can definitely work up contrast and do shadings and such. I did get to the foot a little bit too much, so bring in the beige again to clean things up. But I'm talking to you there, where I'm showing you how I do shade and hype up contrast and how I choose colors and what shading colors I use for what. If you want to see a little more on these pencils specifically in a whole scenery of things, how well the colors work and what pencils are really great to use for what, take a look. Take a look at the Beyond the Lines videos. They always air on Thursday, in case you're new to the channel and didn't know. So I'm going over everything again with the dark gray. You see it makes a very smooth, nice, radiant, dark shadow there. Putting in the light gray and then very lightly going on top with the dark gray, because it's just supposed to be a highlight. There we go. There he is, and that would be my video for today. Just have to sign. Do I have a pencil? No, I don't. Don't have a normal graphite pencil. Oh, no, I do. Ha! On the other side of the table. Hold on. Ooh. Come to mama. There we go. Today is the 22nd. 22nd of January 2018. There we go. And this would be my drawing for today. I hope you enjoyed watching along. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Follow me on Vimeo. Again, if you haven't heard it yet, my channel is moving to Vimeo. I'm moving all of my artwork bit by bit, all of the videos that will come out onwards. They will publish on Vimeo, and bit by bit I'm going to not publish the same videos anymore on YouTube because of the recent hiccup that I talked about in other recent videos already. But yeah, move with me over there. There's also a link in the description box to my webpage where you can read up on the numbers of the pencils that I used and see close-up photos in case this is not close-up enough for you or you want to see a little more details. You can contact me on all the social media platforms that are listed in the description box below, and I thank you very much for watching. I would very much appreciate if you'd give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'm gonna see you very soon, Thursday to be exact. I'm gonna see you on the Beyond the Lines. So take good care, have fun, bye bye.